failed, sorry. Mhm. Oh, it is, I'm telling you, at some point, if somebody can get the AC fixed, it would be appreciated. That would be a miracle, a Festivus miracle.
If they could fix the technology.
That would be a miracle. All my niece wants for Christmas is a 2 front teeth, and all we want is some AC and the technology fixed. All right, everyone, happy Friday. Yesterday was pre-Friday. Today is Friday, so we should all be happy that it is Friday. I'm going to call the docket. Let me know if you're here. If you're not here, of course, you're not going to hear this instruction, which a warrant may be issued for your arrest. But if you don't speak up and let me know you're here, a warrant may be issued for your arrest, in which case it's not going to be a great Friday for you. In custody, we have Melanie Flores, Laura Salcedo, Jamira Simmons. Oops. If I can find a pen that's working. In custody, we have Samudio Sr., Victor Moran, Carmelo Figueroa. Okay. Armando Garcia. In custody, we have Juan Hernandez. Bond, we have Bradley Castilla. Thank you. Brian Sanchez. Talia Ringo. Derek Garza. Jennifer Tagle. Nicholas Armstrong. Wonder if that D is silent on the name I'm about to call. John Zieronowski. And I know I said that name correctly. He's not here to appreciate it. John Zieronowski. Juan Pinagovia. Samantha Patton. Francisco Reyes. Erica Lopez. Obadiah Grandpierre. Raymond Cavazos is in custody. Emmanuel Saldana is in custody. James McKnight. Jaime Lozano. All right, thank you. Laura Botello. All right, everyone. Is there anyone here whose name I did not call? Yes, sir. What's your name?
Yeah.
Jesus, and what's the last name? Okay, I remember you. And your attorney is John Young. Okay, we will get him here. All right, anyone else whose name was not called or you came in late? All right, and sir, you need to take your hat off. All right, please confer. Attorneys, please confer. Now's the time to confer. Yes. Oh, no problem. Oh, no problem. And I think there is only one elevator working.
Mhm.
Yes, in the new building, there's only one elevator working. And then in this building, I think only two of the elevators are working. I don't know why anybody didn't put in an escalator, but
Oh, it's very fun.
yeah.
Is it Tiny Tiffany? Who is it? Let me see who this here. Is it Tiny Tiffany? I'm not. No, he's asking. That's a request then.
Mr. Goulet?
Not here.
State, could you look up a cause number for me, please, and let me know what the defendant is charged with? It's 2019 12034.
Murder. No.
All right, thank you.
I recognize your face, but I don't remember their names.
My fault.
Oh, let's see. Are you on video? Thank you. Next time. Wow. You know what? You still owe me cookies. Oreos? No, it's a all of that.
Does anyone have Attorney Tony Hernandez's number? All right, if you do, could you have him come to court?
I don't have it down right.
You just got here? What's your name, sir? Okay, first row, sir.
Thank you.
You're on.
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
What? Good job.
Oh, and Michael, did you have Tony Hernandez's number?
I don't.
All right, thank you. No, I need Tony Hernandez here. And John Young.
Then we'll grab them.
What's the name?
Yes.
Morning.
Who's your client? Could I see the file? It's probably on the premium.
I am now. I didn't know it was his birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah. No, I wasn't, but hey, you should have said something. Maybe it's my doppelganger. Yeah. No.
That's not what you call it.
All right, so I usually give people till 9:30 to show up. All right, if you'll wait, then I'll call it at 9:30. And is he on, has a bondsman? Okay, all right, then let's, I usually give everybody till 9:30, so it's almost 9:30.
Wanna go back? Hang on, it's got 28. So are you gonna buy the? It's something that happened to us. But there's one of them said about it, you know, they're gonna be scared on. We have, there's some office. There, sections that we don't.
I'm just trying to listen to your
So that's
Yes.
when I was.
No, I know.
So you embrace that. You embrace. I exactly.
Excuse me, that's, thank you. Yes. Hello.
Joanna Williams had noticed to be here today to that next setting, but I can at least update you.
Okay. Yes.
Jail visit.
All right, could everyone please whisper? Yes.
We had to file a motion for competency on him. We had reasons to believe that he's been in the hospital. He says he's diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Mhm.
But his version of what happened is really crazy compared to what the report says. But I'll just here, because I think Joanne got noticed to be here today.
Yes. There was a PR bond requested, and also it was just for me to consider what type of bond to give him. And I think you all were going to confer with the state on that, and I got the PR
I
bonds
see.
to see what his priors and everything were.
I can speak with Ryan about.
Okay.
about that.
Mhm. Well, let me read it first before they come up. I'll call them up when I'm ready. Okay, all right. Act traffic controller. And do I have a file for this? Thank you. Number, were you able to get in touch with Tony Hernandez? Well, We can't wait for Monday for this. Peterson. I know, but his client keeps using alcohol. So either we're gonna have his client come in today to tell me why he keeps using alcohol. I can't have somebody using alcohol and I don't know if they're driving or not. So that's where we are. Yeah. Oh, no, please do. Thank you. We'll see if that helps. I'm hoping it does.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Statesman. On Saldana. Did you,
Brian, we've agreed to a $10,000 bond set.
all right, so is your client here today?
He's in custody. I did not request him because he's within the competency valve. It's not all there.
Okay. All right, so do you have a motion
I can have a motion.
or either if not, if you will get a B page and write your agreement on that and I'll sign it. Thank you. And we do have to go briefly on the record though. All right, Mr. Arguelles.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and could I have a prosecutor, please? Court is calling 2022 CR 8047, State of Texas versus Juan Antonio Pena Govea. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Groomer for the state of Texas.
for the defense? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:31 a.m. The defendant has not answered the docket call and the defendant is not in court. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
We sent a letter right when we got appointed to the case drawing. We sent a letter just when we got appointed to the case drawing.
All
And
right,
there's no phone number listed in the office reports or in the PR bond paperwork.
all right, thank you. And Deputy,
The indicated expand.
Deputy, did you announce outside the courtroom? All right, so the deputy has announced your client's name outside of the courtroom and he's not there. State,
Judge, we would ask for a bond forfeiture and for a warrant to be issued for his arrest.
all right, because this is a PR bond, I'm just going to issue a judge's warrant. I'll remand your client without bond. If you're able to make contact with your client and your client presents himself, then the court will reconsider. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Might be excused.
Yes.
However,
All right, you too. Next time, if you think you see me, say hello.
will do.
This. Yes.
Okay.
Simmons?
Yeah.
Joe Mariah?
Yeah, but. Oh, it's the 105. He's one for marijuana, I think he got the new salt. And he shouted to God. And he put the- That's the foot is coming out. Late on.
Court is calling 2022 CR 1745, State of Texas versus Laura Salcedo. Could I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state?
Getting our bar from the state of Texas.
Juan Aguilera, attorney for Mr. Salcedo.
And are you Ms. Salcedo? I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Laura Elizabeth Salcedo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 1745 for the offense of harassment of a public servant on March 30th, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you? State?
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Laura Elizabeth Salcedo, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of May and June of 2022 in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
Your Honor, the state waives all the violations.
Any objections?
No objection, Your Honor.
Ms. Salcedo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's to continue the defendant on supervision, to alter and amend for 30 days in the Bexar County Jail, employment within 30 days, and for her to submit for a UA biweekly for 3 months and reign thereafter. And then an admonishment from the court for not reporting, and that she must verify her residence every 90 days.
Must verify her residence.
Every 90 days.
All right, thank you. All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Salcedo, why you're not reporting?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to make sure you speak up.
I was working at the time, have to feel, to see if I can
Lower the mess so we can hear you.
Yes, 2 months visits in 1 week that she had already issued a warrant from her arrest, so that there was nothing I can do about it. So, I mean, that's not that.
But then why, that still doesn't explain to me why you didn't report.
I couldn't report, she had told me that she had already issued a warrant from her arrest.
Where were you working?
But through them, I mean, they're giving me a regular job, I just have to bring that application.
Okay, so I still don't understand why you need to call probation and say that you're at work, you can't come in.
Well, I tried to tell her, but since I had missed 2 home visits in 1 week, she had told me it was already too late.
Why are you missing your home visits?
I was working at the time, so.
Everything for you is I was working at the time, which I find a little bit suspect because you know when you have to report. You know, in this court, that if you would have taken proof of employment to probation, that what would have ended up happening is they would have sent me a violation report. I would have had you come in for a compliance hearing and I would have asked you why you're not reporting. And then I would have said, where's your proof of employment? And when you would have came in and said, I've been working, that's why I haven't been reporting. I would have said, we're going to recall this case and you're going to come in showing me that you have employment. Now, why do they need to know where you're living?
I'm not too sure. I mean, I guess because I
Well-
was home, I was homeless at the time, so I guess I have to.
Well,
show
no,
people.
because you were saying you missed the field visits, so you were not homeless at the time.
I know, but I had to look and see, I was living out with my uncle at the time and I told him that I was in a permanent place, so I guess.
See, here's the thing, you're not being completely honest with me. And let me just tell you why I think you're not being completely honest with me. I want you to follow me down the trail that you're giving me. One, you tell me that you can't do the field visits because you're working. Then you tell me, well, I live with my uncle and then I was homeless at the time. That's why I think they want the 90 days residency. Then you're telling me you can't report because you're working.
Well, I can report now, you know, I'm living somewhere now, so. But at the time, I wasn't stable, so I was trying to get on my feet then.
Do you have any drug issues?
No,
When's the last time you used drugs?
it's been a couple months, a month, 2 months.
Okay. And what were you using?
I was smoking
What?
ice.
All right. So now we're coming to what the real problem is here. So how often were you smoking ice?
Maybe once. Not, it wasn't something that I was doing constantly, you know. It was every now and
Nope,
then.
nope. Here's the thing. You're on deferred adjudication. Everybody has said they want you to be continued. So I need to know what I need to do. So the next time that I see you, it will be because you've completed everything and you're asking me to let you off of probation, as opposed to seeing you before me in blue, potentially going to prison for 10 years. So let's not play any games. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, lower your hand, state your name.
Laura Salcedo.
All right, and pull the mask down so we can hear you. All right, so how often were you using?
Maybe once or twice a month. It wasn't
No,
constant.
no, it wasn't once or twice a month. Don't do this. Here's the thing, you got to be honest with me. And honestly, if you're not honest with me, that tells me that you're still in the throes of your addiction and maybe you're not ready for help. But I don't know anybody who's using ice like once a month.
Well, I mean, I wasn't using it constantly, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, so how often were you using it?
Maybe twice a week or less, you know, it was been a constant thing.
So you were using it weekly?
Maybe weekly, bi-weekly. But
All right.
It wasn't a constant thing.
All right, so she needs some help. She has a drug problem, which I had a feeling that she had based upon my conditions. So probation, we're going to need a TAP evaluation. So I'm going to alter them in conditions to include TAP. That's going to occur while you're in custody. And I'm going to start you off with intensive outpatient treatment. We're going to do the UA hotline. Now, the next question, they're saying that they want proof of residency. Do you actually have a stable place to stay? And when I say stable place to stay, I don't mean you're couch surfing. I don't mean one friend is letting you stay here for a week and then you have to find another place to stay. Do you have a place where you can lay your head on a pillow at night, wake up in the morning and come to that same place and lay your head on the same pillow?
I'm pretty sure I can.
Nope, not pretty sure. Do you have it? That's either yes or no.
It's the same residence that I had to renew the last time.
And is this the uncle?
Yeah.
Well, it seems like that didn't work out before. And I don't think your uncle wants you staying with him if you are using. And when we say uncle, is this a biological uncle?
Yeah.
How is he related to you? On which side?
On my mother's side.
Why are you not staying with your mom or your grandmother?
So my mom she's getting on. She's not here right now. She just already had a heart attack. So right now she's in a nursing home.
All right. And grandmother?
I don't have a grandma.
Do you have aunts?
Yeah.
Why not stay with the aunts? Why the uncle?
Well, I mean, I can do that. It's just not something constant, you know? I mean, they help me as much as they can, you know, it's not gonna be like something permanent, you know?
All right. You're going to be allowed to stay with your uncle. But you're only gonna be allowed to stay with him for 90 days. You need to start saving up your money and you're gonna get your own place. You understand? And I'm gonna want proof of residency every 30 days. And so probation, I'm gonna want field visits every 30 days. And probation, usually I know those field visits are random, but make sure that she knows what day it's gonna be. And when you go to the uncle's house, make sure you look in the closet to make sure that she is actually staying there. And this is just not knocking on someone's door. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom. And probation to help her out when she calls the UA hotline and has to come in and test, that could be her reporting day as well. And well, I know just when she calls and she goes in, then she'll know if I'm going in to do UA, right after that, I need to go and report for probation. All right, and anything else that the state and you all agreed to?
I think that's it.
All right. Ms. Salcedo? And I'm sorry, there's to be proof of employment within 15 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Ms. Salcedo, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No.
Judge, gentleman approached me before we got started and indicated that she was Miss Salcedo's husband. I heard they have a place of their own there on Harbor Place.
Who?
So her husband.
All right, are those shades medical prescription? Or are you just being cool for school? All right, you need to stop chewing gum. All right, so who is this gentleman?
He's my husband.
Do y'all have a certificate proving that you're married?
And we're coming up.
Yeah, I don't know him. I don't know how long she's known him.
You have kids together? Together.
A little louder, please. What was the answer?
Excuse me?
I didn't hear your answer.
3-4 months.
All right, so no, there's an issue going, yeah, you understand.
Yes.
So no, you can't live with this gentleman. What is your name?
Larry and Amanda.
Yes, she will not be living with you. She needs to get her life in order. You understand? All right, thank you. Have a seat. And Ms. Salcedo, here's the thing. If you're using ICE, what I've understood in my small time on the planet is your husband or common law for 3 or 4 months is probably using as well. Because what I do know is if you're at the barber shop, whether you need a haircut or not, if you hang out at the barber shop, at some point in time, you're going to get a haircut. So you're not allowed to be with him. You're not allowed to be around him. And I'm making that as a part of the conditions. Do you understand? All right. Is there anything else?
Nothing.
So probation, there's to be no contact with this gentleman in the courtroom. What's his last name? So. Excuse me, sir, you're excused. Deputies, he can be escorted out. All right. Yes, you will. Thank you. All right, who's here on? All right, on Erica Lopez. Mr. Ortiz is in, can you come forward? Your attorney is in jury trial and impact court, so we're going to recall your case, okay? Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset? Oh, it's only going to take 1 day? Ah. Okay, so let's recall it for Monday then. All right, so we're going to bring you back on Monday, and Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form. Yes, thank you. And you can just step in line behind this gentleman. You're welcome. All right, the person who was here on Emmanuel Saldana, Mr. Stateson. Thank you for filling this out so beautifully. I appreciate that.
I try. Yes.
And can I have the state come forward? We're gonna go on the record in NIMAC number 673317, State of Texas versus Emmanuel Saldana. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Brian Zimmer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Attorney record Joanne De Hoyos, Joseph Statesman, Associate Attorney covering.
So there's been a request for a bond reduction. Mr. Saldana is not present because there are mental health issues.
Correct.
Counsel?
We filed a motion for competence here.
All right. And the court received a application for a for a PR bond. And that was to be used for the court to consider if a bond reduction would be appropriate. The court has reviewed that. Both state and defense have reviewed that. And my understanding is that both parties have come to agreement. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And what is that agreement?
Judge, we were asking, I believe the previous bond was $20,000 and we agreed that 10,000 was appropriate based on the facts of this case, his criminal history and everything else we saw in the PR bond application.
All right. Then the court, based upon what's in the application for the PR bond and based upon the agreement between the attorneys, the court will set the bond at $10,000. Right. You're welcome. Yes. Yes. Mr. Stateson, that competency eval has been filed, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right, who is here on Juan Hernandez?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, Juan Hernandez. All right, Mr. Hernandez, today is your plea deadline date. Have you had ample time to discuss everything with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so are you requesting a jury trial or you wish to enter a plea? A jury trial? All right. All right, so your plea deadline date has expired. What that means is that if you decide to enter a plea bargain agreement at a later date, the court will only consider it for good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a jury trial date for Mr. Juan Hernandez, please? And state, I'll need an acknowledgement of discovery.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. But here, it looks like it's going to be an interesting Friday. Yeah, he did.
You need to go apologize.
All right, so we're going to come back on November 15th for your jury trial. What I can tell you is there are other people that may be ahead of you for jury trial. You will be brought over dressed for trial in whatever clothing you have at the Bexar County Jail. If there's something you want to appear in other than what you were arrested in or clothing that's at the jail, you'll have to make a clothing exchange with your attorney. If you don't sign the form for the clothing exchange, they are not going to exchange clothing. You understand? All right. So, counsel, if there's any issue with the clothing exchange, just let the court know.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Norma, what is the date again? All right. So it's going to be November 15th.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Let me touch you. And go back.
All right. Who's here on Obadiah Grand Pierre? Good morning. All right. Why was your, Mr. Grand Pierre, why were you late today? You drove from California? Which, that's either yes or no.
Yes.
All right. Which part of California?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Well, I hope you have gas to go back.
I barely even have that, but I should be able to get back. I'm going through some financial, I'm working.
Okay. Sometimes Greyhound is the best. All right, have you conferred with the state?
I have, sir.
Have you received all the discovery?
I think it's like I talked to Ron, I'm not, we didn't go over that exactly. I've seen the file. I think I have most of it, but. Yeah.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please? Just a regular reset? All right, we're gonna come.
That would be,
All right.
that's a long reset.
All right, we're gonna come back on October 28th, and Mr. Grand Pierre is allowed to appear by Zoom
Thank you.
if he is not in Texas.
Excuse?
Yes, you need a reset form. Norman, can you make sure that he knows he can appear by Zoom? Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and you can put this with the market that I've signed.
So just so you have it written down somewhere, it's officially acknowledged. We had about 6 months there. I mean,
Hi.
his client.
Hey, Major. That's his nickname now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We were laughing about Major Applewhite and Texas quarterback. And something else. How did that come up? He confused you, huh? Yeah, he got confused over Marshall Applewhite.
Okay.
The guy
Yeah, I
that
think I signed it yesterday.
drinks that killed all those 30 guys die. You were a kid, man. We got in California. They thought they were going to catch the comet Kahutek as it went by. You know, he thought that was the Texas quarterback. I explained it was Major Applewhite as opposed to Marshall Applewhite. Well, that's, you know, actually, that's a cool nickname. I mean, look at what I did with Jeff. He's Shaggy from Scooby Doo. You know. What? Of course.
Yeah.
I wanted to tell him. Well, you know,
Can you read over
I
this?
you know, I'm an old, not a very good old high school football player.
Sure.
And I could tell, I thought, this guy's gotta be an offensive line. So he's so calm, you know, and you know, block your ass, you know, pancake you. And he said, oh, I was on the tennis team. So I thought, now I can tease this guy. You know? I thought, no, wait a minute, golf team. And I thought, because when I said, are you on the, I said, I'm on the team. I said, no, I'm on the. And I said, I can't see you on a tennis team, you know, I mean, you're kind of big, you know, chase that ball. I was on the golf team.
Oh,
Yeah, of
there's
course-
to be
yeah,
no
and of course it cracked me up. I used to see it
contact
together,
with
and they
that gentleman,
hung out
Larry.
there. You know, like this.
38. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I told her a long time ago when she was.
All right,
dating
this
me.
is good.
I walked out, she was with her little girlfriend. I said, yeah, I saw you with your honey. And she kind of like that. I said, I remember one thing, if you decide to tie up this guy, he's gonna be hard to feed. You gotta remember that for the next 50 years. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to put something on the table, you know. That was a big eater. You know. I don't think she thought of that.
Those receipts, and I'll be doing that flash drive.
Oh, you're too weird.
Yeah, technically, I'm gonna give something to the bag right now. Nah, I was tired of it. He was tired of it. Did it look bad? Like, does it look like yours? You know? I heard he's starting to grow one out. Where's the kid?
Let me, just 1 second. Let me check. Put it in my okay, in the fridge for me. Yeah. If I'm not back soon.
Yeah.
Hello.
Friday, so wrong. Go back to the car, look around, realize. You're good. Right.
Hey, but the good news about it, it's Friday. So, that makes everything better.
Yeah, just get through it, right?
Yeah.
Restroom.
Hi, you too. Have a great one. Right.
Ryan.
All right, and everyone, just give me a moment.
We have to go get a waiver number and stuff.
Oh, that's right.
But we'll get it started.
Okay, I'll be back.
Hey, Ryan, we have Armando Garcia. Possession.
Okay, thank you. All right, here's here on Talia Ringo.
Doctor's care. Trying to read it, it says that she's under. COVID quarantine.
All right, is that from her or do you have that from the doctor?
It is from the doctor, she just forwarded it to.
Okay, so that's sent to you from a doctor that's forwarded from her. Is her name on it?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Ringo. She is ill and the defense attorney is telling me he has medical proof she's ill. Can I have a setting? Well, it's the illness that we all have come to know. So,
And Judge, I'm pretty sure this will be worked out.
okay,
As soon as she-
yes.
Okay.
I'm good for that one.
All right. So on that one, we'll see you back on October 14th.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and then on Jennifer Tagle.
She's in no show right now.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7737A stated.
Judge, Jennifer Tagle is the one, she has two cases, I guess. No, she has one case. Jennifer Tagle is the one that has COVID.
All right, that's
Which one did you?
I called the other
Leah
one.
Ringo is
Yes.
the other one.
All right, so Norma, there's not a reset on Ringo.
Ringo is FTA, Judge.
All right, so on Jennifer Tagle, that's coming back on October 14th.
See, Judge, that's my Friday. That's how I know.
All right, sorry about that to the court reporter. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7678, State of Texas versus Talia Marie Ringo. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record for the state,
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Robert Gale, for the defendant judge.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:09 a.m. The deputies have called the defendant's name in the hallway. Defendant is not present. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I have just through text, email, phone calls. So although this most recent one, I have not received a response to.
All right, is she on bond or PR bond? So, all right. State,
Your Honor, the state moved for the defendant's bond before.
all right, I'll issue a judge's warrant and remand her without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I have Jeremiah Simmons on VCR.
All right, on Armando Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Armando Garcia.
I wanted to inform the court, Your Honor, that he was late today. He had some transportation issues and had childcare issues. His child is actually in my office being watched by my paralegal right now. He is scheduled to take a plea today, which we're starting to paperwork on.
All right, thank you. How old is your child?
He's 10.
Why isn't he in school?
He goes to Oak Crest Elementary. It's East Central District. And they got a teacher work there or something like that. What his mother took over here.
It was an unexpected
Okay.
childcare issue.
Drop them off.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll get the paperwork done.
I've got to go to the 379th daycare because this matter. I'll be back after that, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, because the court is recessing at 11 today.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll be as fast as I can.
Okay.
All right, who is here on Jamira Simmons? All right, Mr. Simmons, come forward.
I get the waiver. Motion to revoke judge and request a date for contempt for NTR.
All right, I don't have a motion to revoke file. I only have a new case.
Should be in the file. That's the
Let me
only
check.
case I represent him on is a motion to revoke.
Let me check first.
2196.
All right, it is set for today. Where are we?
Again, Judge, we're requesting a date for a contested NTR. He wishes to plead not true to the allegations.
All right, and do you have all the discovery on the number one case?
I do, Judge.
All right, so we have a number one that is an assault case. And I also have a number one that is a drug case.
That's correct.
So you have the discovery on each of those cases?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, how many witnesses are you expecting?
I don't know how many the state has, Judge. We may have two.
All right.
Probably closer to 5.
Okay.
6 if you could.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson?
I can do October 26th in the morning.
All right, we'll see you. I'm sorry? Okay. All right, October 26th at 9 a.m.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, just get a reset form for Ms. Ferguson.
Does client need to sign it, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. This helps.
Or the discovery covered.
And who is on this possession case?
I forgot the attorney's name. Judge.
Robert Bravo.
Oh, wait a minute. They have H. Todd McCray. So
Oh,
H.
that's right.
Todd McCray needs to be here on the 26th as well. And whoever that attorney is on the misdemeanor case,
It's a felony case. Robert Bravo.
Robert Brawback needs to be here. So all of those attorneys need to be present. All right, Mr. Porter. All right. Ryan, what is happening with his other case?
Yeah.
Judge, I don't know enough to say. I think Marcus was looking at it. I'm not positive.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can we have Mr. Porter and his client back on October 26th as well? Or either is there another Wednesday that's open so we can decide what is happening with the other case?
Also, Judge, I think Mr. Porter obviously is here for a decent amount. Maybe we'll figure out before that date. There may be a chance. I don't have to say it. I don't know. Curry's here, but there may be a chance we don't get more on that.
Okay,
I think that may be coming up against statute of limitations.
okay.
Have you never been back?
Oh, then let's just, all right, Ms. Ferguson, when are we gonna take care of that?
I'm sure I'll be here
Just
again
not
next
by,
week,
yeah,
Judge.
just not by and bug me and I'll get Marcus to look at it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
So don't put it on the docket.
No, let's put it on the docket because I want to make sure it's done. So, is everybody able to come back next week? Is that enough time?
I believe I'll probably get a trial. That's always.
All right, I tell you what, we'll put it for next week, and if you're in trial, we'll note that.
Okay.
And Mr. Curry doesn't have to be here on that day. I just want to know where this case is going.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So put it for next week, Norman, make sure,
Next Friday?
yeah. And make sure that they know that Mr. Curry doesn't have to be here. So Robert, we're gonna put that on Friday
Okay.
of next week.
Thank you, ma'am. Excuse me.
Yes, you may.
That's awesome.
I was gonna see if I can get offers on this too, so I will be in contact with.
Are they not here right now?
One of them's not because of COVID, didn't show, but I do have contact with. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, who is here? Derek Garza. Is Derek Garza on bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Is he on a PR bond or?
Yes.
All right, could I have a prosecutor, please? Court is calling 2022 CR 7680, State of Texas versus Derek Anthony Garza. Can I have the state announced for the record, please?
Michael Villarreal for the state.
All right. Defense counsel is not present, but the defendant was instructed to be here today at 9 a.m. It is now 10:22 a.m. The defendant is not present, nor is he in a courtroom. And Deputy Mejia is calling for the defendant outside the courtroom. Deputy Mejia?
No,
All right, and according to the deputy, the defendant did not answer. State?
At this time, the state moves for a bond forfeiture that a warrant was issued for the defendant's arrest.
All right, the defendant is on a PR bond. The court will issue a judge's warrant and remand the defendant without bond. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
She's called and said that he started the contestant, it's gonna take a while. So then Van Rodriguez can come.
All right, so that'll be, we can recall it on Monday, which is this case?
Yeah.
Amanda Garcia?
He texted you, no?
Yeah.
I have all the.
Yeah.
Recall.
Come on up.
All right. Is he on the docket?
Good, thank
So if they are able to, if he's able to come back and go over the paperwork, he'll come at all today, or he's not able?
you. Not gonna be able to-
Okay.
I'm not gonna be able to.
All right, let's recall it for Monday.
I'll let Trish know to tell him.
All right, Mr. Armando Garcia. Armando Garcia. No, I saw him here. Hi, Dan. Hi, my understand, they have all the paperwork done, but they're telling me that it's gonna take you a while.
What's got to sign everything? Oh, so you.
Oh, so do you want to do it now? Okay,
Go sign it. I'm gonna have him sign everything and I'll be right back.
okay, we will do it. All right, Ms. Ferguson? Yeah, Lupe, you need to be prepared to swear his, Dan's client in.
Turn to Dan and I'll do that.
Okay. Yes.
Forgive the lack of attire.
Okay.
Boss is out of town. I didn't realize that, so I got sent. The client is asking for permission to travel. He's on PTD. In fact, he just had his setting
All
earlier
right,
this
did you
week.
confer with the state?
I did. State has no objection.
Okay. When, and I see he'll be back on October 2nd.
Yes, Judge. Second or third, I forgot what it was, but he leaves on the 29th. He's seen his daughter. I think she's in college.
Okay. All right, it's been signed.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Figueroa? Okay, well, let's see what's happening then. So what's happening with this case?
All the discovery
Appreciate
has- and extra discovery
Yeah,
has been given to
Okay.
the defense, Your Honor. So we're,
All right. And has the discovery acknowledgement been filed?
I don't believe we filed them yet.
All right, so if you can file the discovery acknowledgement, has an offer been tendered?
yes.
Right, because the last thing we needed was she wanted the incident detail report,
Yes.
so you have that.
I do, yeah.
All right.
Accidentally uploaded it twice.
Okay, no problem. So Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on Mr. Figueroa, I'm gonna need a jury trial date.
For Monday. They can go in the impact.
All right, so you're gonna come back on Monday. And you'll be sent to impact court. And I've notated in the file because you all just got the extra discovery, the incident detail report. That can be your plea deadline date and your jury trial date. So that'll give him an extra time over the weekend. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Norma, are they bringing him up or no?
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
so
but you're right.
if you remain in court,
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
we have two Normas. All right, if you remain in court, they'll bring your client up.
So when you have moments in our approach,
Yes, do you have a file?
I don't, when I back number.
Ah. So which case is this?
It's on one of Woody's cases. He asked me to come by and see you.
Okay.
This is on the by the name of Ricky Coleman. He's got several night cases. We're just asking for a amendment to the conditions of bond to have them released to. Apparently Woody has visited with Michelle Hayden and she's okay with it. We're just looking to get him.
All right, if you have the state sign it. All right, thank you, and I will take care of it.
Okay, great.
I'm always happy when someone decides to go into treatment.
But Your Honor,
Yes.
Judge. I have a client who was brought over, Mr. Raymond Cavazos, are all nightmare cases, but he had been requesting a PR bond on the cases. He's got several cases.
All right, do you have the application for PR bond?
Well, actually, he has already been interviewed. Now, I put your honor hand.
Oh, yes, no, I have it.
Okay.
They just handed it to me.
So he's already been approved on 3 of the cases. So we were just asking the court would approve the remaining. He's got 5 other cases.
I believe the state is opposed to his application for a PR bond.
I don't think.
Is it the one with all the cases at the beginning of the document?
It is, no, this is Raymond Cavazos.
No, I think-
Here's the full PR bond application.
Daniel, I handed it to Daniel. Daniel reviewed it.
Okay. And I would tell parties that the previous PR bond, I don't know if I'm the one who approved that PR bond.
Judge
or-
Herb, Judge Herb,
Okay,
you know, you're much nicer than Judge Herb. Judge Herb granted it, and you know, that's gotta be something to say.
Just for me standing in respectfully, he does have quite a few criminal history cases. I know a lot of them have been dismissed, but he does have a number of convictions and he is on for a lot of pending cases right now.
all right, so this is what I'm gonna do, counsel, because I don't think your client was brought over today. Was he?
No, he
brought-
was.
He is? Oh, Mr. Cavazos? Okay, we can have a hearing on it. And I'll make a decision. All right. Maybe you can start them in. And before we do this hearing, I need to take care of,
It's all good except. Okay, so we can do that. Yeah. Oh, here's. Okay.
He's in the back.
Armando.
Joseph Staten, clients come in. Did he talk to you about Mr. McKnight?
no, he did not.
Mr. McKnight showed up yesterday.
Yes, he's here. Can you call Mr. Stateson back down?
Obviously, he didn't show up.
No, he's the guy with the shades on his head. Oh, no, he didn't show up. I'm sorry. You're right. James McKnight?
He showed up yesterday. I could talk to him, and I called him to come back today.
Yeah, call Joseph and see where he is.
Okay.
All right, Armando Garcia, can you come forward? Court is calling 2022 CR 5698, State of Texas versus Armando Garcia. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
for the
Daniel.
defense?
Daniel Rodriguez on behalf of Mr. Garcia.
Are you Armando Garcia? Counsel, have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Garcia? Yes, one moment. I'm showing you what's entitled application for community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Garcia, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand You're charged with felon in possession of a firearm. That's a third-degree felony, state. The range of punishment for that offense is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Garcia, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is asking that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison, $500 fine probated? There's no application for deferred adjudication and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Judge. However, we do have an additional condition that we also are TICing a misdemeanor out of the same incident under cause number 677470 out of County Court 5.
All right, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your
Mr. Garcia, that's the plea bargain agreement? State?
It is, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Honor. No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a top evaluation and 100 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Fine.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Judge. State would offer State's Exhibit number 1.
No objection.
Showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept it to evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Please, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we asked you to follow the plea bargain. We also asked you to follow the state's recommendations as well, Your Honor. This is a case where, although Mr. Garcia is a felon and didn't have the legal right to possess or use a firearm, he was doing so in order to protect his homestead. So we just asked you to take that into consideration and grant him the 2 years probation.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you are going to be drug tested today. If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
It's gonna be kind of really dirty.
All right, you need to speak up. What is it going to be dirty for?
I'm not amphetamine.
All right. Now, when's the last time you used?
219.
Okay, how often are you using?
I was using like twice a day. Not every day, but every other day.
Here's the thing, you shouldn't have custody of your child. And when I say have custody of your child, I mean, you shouldn't be the sole person being responsible for them because you're positive for meth. You understand that? So you're gonna have to clean up your act. You're looking at me frowning when I say that.
No, because I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm on here like, I take care of my son, and I know what goes on around here, and what he's doing, what, you know what I mean? Like,
Let me ask you a question. If you needed a babysitter for your child, I'm assuming you love your child, right? Do you love your child?
Ma'am.
Would you walk through fire for your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you do everything you could to protect your child?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's say you need a babysitter for your child. And you asked me to babysit your child. And you did a background check. I gave you references. Maybe I babysit children for Dan or Ryan. And they're like, oh, Stephanie Boyd is a great babysitter. She's the Black Mary Poppins. You will love her. You test me out with your child. And you watch me how I interacted with your child, and your child loves me. Please let her babysit me. That's who I want. And you say, Stephanie, your references are good. My child loves you. I'm going to hire you to babysit them. When can you start? And I say immediately. And as I'm walking out the door, I feel a little guilty because there's something you don't know about me. So I turn around and I tell you, hey, look, I just want to tell you something. 2 days ago, I used meth. And I used meth probably like 2 days ago, but you saw me with your son. You know I'm present. Are you still going to hire me as your son's babysitter? Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I see what you're saying.
You're not going to hire me, right? So that's what you're doing right now. You're babysitting your child, and we're going to have to work on that. You understand? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
I just lost my job like 2.5 weeks ago. I was working at J. Anthony's.
Mhm.
I'm just going through a lot of harassment right now with my ex, and it's hard to do a lot of things without causing.
All right. Well, we choose the people we're in a relationship with, right? So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to ask for proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation. I want a referral to felony drug court, and you need to not play games with felony drug court, and you need to let them know how often you're using meth. You understand? I'm going to want field visits 4 times per month. And probation, please check on his child. I mean, this is not CPS court, so I can't have your child removed from you, but somebody needs to check on your child. I'm going to want parenting classes with compadre y compadre. I'm going to want 100 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The court is not requiring you to get that, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. The remaining hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. I'm going to want the UA hotline. And I'm going to want reporting 2 times per month until further notice. And the UA hotline is until further notice. And felony drug court should be able to get in touch with you by Monday. All right, do you understand? Probation, is there anything else that he needs? Is there anything else that you need from me in order to be successful on this probation? Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, then you need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? And I'm sorry, probation, there's one other thing that needs to be added to that, to his conditions. One other thing that's going to be added after today, there's not to be any unsupervised contact with minors until he tests negative. So until you test negative after today, there's not to be any unsupervised contact with minors until you test negative. You understand? With minors, people who are underage.
what does underage have to do anything with my case?
Because you're gonna test positive for meth, you use meth, and right now I'm being told that you're taking care of a 10-year-old.
He's my son.
She's saying. One, start testing.
I don't, but it wasn't my choice to have him today. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I said, after today, there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. You can still see your son. And whether or not you see your son on your own without supervision depends completely on you. That means that you've got to stop using meth. Do you understand? If you are in Child Protective Services court right now, you know what they would do? They would have CPS worker go and pick up your son, because right now you are not an appropriate caregiver for him. Do you understand? And that's all on you. That's your fault. That's not your son's fault. You understand? All right, do better. Should I see his file? What's one? Yes. Okay.
There are filed comments, so it's okay if you sign those.
Oh, yes, that's fine.
He's there.
I just do a bunch of work.
No.
There's a public.
Thank you.
I give those to you.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
When will those get put in today?
Today.
Okay, very good.
No, thank you. All right, who's here on Brian Sanchez? All right, where's Brian Sanchez? Come forward. All right, what is happening on this case?
Judge, we got an offer today. I've conveyed to my client. We are going to continue to review discovery in context with what they've offered. And we're not accepting it today.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Brian Sanchez, what date can we give him? They've been given an offer today. And just make it a plea deadline date. It's a 30-day reset.
October 28th.
All right, October 28th. That's going to be your plea deadline date. You need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer at that time. After that date, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. All right, Ms. Ferguson will give you a reset form.
We can do that.
You're welcome.
Except for if you posted it, it's on a full at 9 and 1.
Right, I don't represent it on that.
Yeah, the judge wants you to be here.
I get it.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What time?
At 9.
All right, anyone else ready?
Are you ready for us on Mr. Cavazos?
Cavazos.
PR bonds.
Oh, are you already on the PR bond with Mr. Cavazos?
Yeah.
All right, if I could have the PR bond document back, please. And which cause numbers are you seeking a PR bond on?
Can't pass my paperwork here. Would be, nightmare number is 102-905, 102-906, 102-907, 103-132, and
Mhm.
103-133.
All right, yes, he has a, if I could see the PR bond application, please. Thank you. All right, the court is calling the following CM numbers: 103-132, 103-133, 102-906, 102-907, 102-905. State of Texas versus Raymond Cavazos. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
For the
Why don't you get
defense?
up for Mr. Cavazos?
Mr. Cavazos, come down. All right, the defense is requesting a PR bond. State, are you in objection?
We are in objection, Judge.
All right, any witnesses from either side?
No, judge.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State.
Judge, I think you have the PR bond paperwork up there, Judge. I don't recall exactly, but I think Mr. Cavazos has cases as well in California in which he had a couple of convictions for very similar offenses to what we're looking at here. In addition, back in 2004, he was placed on probation for a charge of forgery of a check, credit debit card abuse, and forgery of a check. In 2013, he was placed, he got a conviction and spent 20 days in jail for a theft case here in Bexar County. 2 years later, he also spent another 56 days in jail for a theft case. In this particular case, I believe we have 5 or 6 felonies pending. Essentially, he's caught trying to pass counterfeit money. They find him in a stolen vehicle with all kinds of documents that belong to other people. I think that his entire criminal history has been fraudulent type offenses, and that's not fitting of a PR bond. I think he currently has, I know you read him at the beginning, but he has a 400 to 200 gram heroin case. He has a fraud use case, a tampering with government records, a forgery of a government instrument, another fraud use case, another tampering of government records, and another forgery that are all pending at this time. We think a PR bond's not appropriate based on the fact that he continues to commit the same crime and he has a bunch of them pending.
All right.
Judge, all of these basically arise out of, in 2 of the cases, they arise out of the same transactions. Well, the 102, the cases beginning with the 102s all occurred on the same date, August the 19th, 2022. And also the cases that Mr. Groomer mentioned about the unauthorized use of forgery and the possession of controlled substance, also August the 19th, 2022. The passing, it was not attempted to pass any kind of counterfeit money. It was in his possession. But basically, he was not attempting to do that. Judge, you have a PR bond report. PR bond report indicates his level being able of not being compliant. It's extremely low. I think he came back to the 4, which is low. He's always reported on all the cases that Mr. Groomer mentioned. He's never been a bond forfeiture. He's always appeared. The cases that he did receive a conviction on were all completed satisfactorily. I believe that the purpose of the bonds are for him to appear. He has appeared. And obviously, by virtue of him having court-appointed counsel, he does not have the resources to be able to make these bonds. And so we're asking the court to place him on giving the PR bonds. The PR bond office has made a review of Mr. Cavazos, aware of his criminal history, but nevertheless recommended that he be granted a PR bond. Judge Herr reviewed it and approved that. So we're asking the court to give him the PR bonds on cause numbers 102-905, 102-906, 102-907, 103-132, and 103-133.
All right, the court is going to deny the application for a PR bond. What I'm going to do though, Mr. Cavazos, I'm going to have this recalled in 30 days and see where the state is on their cases, whether it's indicted or not. If it's not indicted, then the court will strongly reconsider your request for a PR bond. All right. We're not here for a bond reduction. We're just here for a PR bond. All right, so Ms. Ferguson, can you put Mr. Cavazos on the docket in 30 days, please? And what date will that be? All right, so we're going to come back on October 20th, Mr. Cavazos, and if there's no movement on your cases, then the court will strongly consider your application for a PR bond, okay? All right, thank you. Yes. All right, John Dwayne Zaranowski. All right, where's your client?
I do not know, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right, court is going to call 2022 CR 7972, State of Texas versus John Dwayne Zaranowski. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brian Gerber for the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Joseph McCall for the defense.
All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 10:56 a.m. Defense, your client has not been present and he is not out in the hallway according to the deputies. Have you had contact with your client?
I have not had contact with my client for some time, Judge.
All right, clerks, is he on a PR bond?
He is on a PR bond.
All right, state.
We'd ask for a bond forfeiture and a judge's warrant.
All right, I'm going to issue a judge's warrant and remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, then the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too. All right, Norm, I'm going to take the recess. Yeah, we have 3 minutes.
Senor,
No.
I think that really can follow.
All right, Senor.
He's in jail, but I thought it's our bread coffee. In that little room.
All right. Michael, could you check to see if Brent Coffee is in the back room to discuss Mr. Senior?
Have you seen Mr. Docket here?
No.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, we are going to be back here for a fresh, beautiful week starting on Monday at 9 a.m. We have one more that has made the deadline. Okay, we'll do this case then. The court is calling 2022 CR 6780, State of Texas versus Bradley Castilla. Could I have parties approach for the state?
Catherine Pollard for the state.
For the defense?
Jim Aldersdorf.
Are you Mr. Castillo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Castillo, next time you should know shorts are not allowed in court, okay? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, to both.
Mr. Castillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement? Satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand that to be the entirety of the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Judge.
Showing you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 200 hours of community service restitution, no harmful or injurious contact with Priscilla Acosta in the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes,
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
Yes, Judge. The state would offer what's in Marcus State's.
No objection.
Mr. Castillo, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We can proceed. Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he's involved in a close relationship. The young lady is here. Even though this is my second time with him, I've formed a very good, strong opinion of Mr. Priscilla. He's been very respectful. I think he'll be a great probationer. And again, he's got a very strong family with regard to his mother who's been here and his wife. They have 3 children together. So we'd very much like to be on the 22nd.
All right. So who is the person with you today? All right, so that's a complainant in this case, right? All right, I'm not going to allow for contact now. So he needs to get his life together. And part of getting your life together is finding out who you are, not having relapses. You understand? Because the pulling of a knife on the person that you say you love, and from what I read in the police report, it says, victim stated she was in fear for her life when he placed the knife to her neck and made those statements. So you made statements with her, accusing her of sleeping with someone, and said you were going to kill her. And you had a knife to her throat. Oh, you want a jury trial? Because here's the thing. People always say they want a jury trial because they think somebody's not going to show up. They think the complainant, we're back together. It's all lovey-dovey. But here's the problem. There's an issue in your household. And let me tell you what the issue is. The issue in your household is you use drugs. You have children in your household. You put a knife to the throat of the person you claim you love. And if you don't love her, at least it would be hoped that you would love your children. And when you did that, guess what? Your children know about it because the police are called to your residence. You brought trauma and drama into their life, and they didn't ask for either one of you to be their parents. So I'm going to help them have a better atmosphere in their home. And part of having a better atmosphere in their home is having their father get his life together. You can still send money to the home for support, but you're not having face-to-face contact with her. And I know you all came to court together. I know she wants to show support for you. I know you guys want to hug up together, but this is what's called a honeymoon phase. But you still haven't gotten your life together. The only thing that's happened is this has happened. Now you're bringing her down here so she can say it didn't happen. And I guess she's going to tell me that the police just showed up. Nobody has an idea. Why did the police show up? Why did she say that you had a knife to her throat, threatening to kill her? And I'm not going to hear that today. You understand? So you have mom, dad? You have a mother and father? All right. So your mother and father, I'm sure they'll allow you to stay with them until you get your life together. And if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And no, before you answer, you are getting drug tested today. So what the results going to be? When's the last time you used? All right. See? And so from this incident, you still haven't learned anything. Because how old are your children? 13. Do you want them smoking weed? By you smoking weed, that's telling them that it's okay to smoke weed. You understand? And are your children boys or girls? All right. So let me just tell you what's happened at your incident at your house. You know how children learn to speak? Do you know how children learn to talk, how to speak, how to form words? They learn that from listening to everybody in their household. So if you have a little child that's using profanity, they're using profanity because people in the household use profanity around them. So what your daughter has learned from this incident is that if someone loves me, then it's okay for them to abuse me because they love me. That's how they show me love. And you know what your sons have learned from this incident at the household? They've learned that might makes right. And this is how I should show love to a woman that I'm involved with or whomever I'm involved with. The way I show love is I'm abusive. You understand? And what your daughters and your son are learning from your mom, their mom, for her to come down here and say that this didn't happen is we cover for the men that we love. I'm not having that in this court. You understand? Yes. Are you employed?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work in McDonald's right now.
Okay. I always tell people when you have children, wherever you work and whatever you enjoy doing, try to do that. All right. It's going to be 4 years deferred adjudication, $500 fine, probated, affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's going to be parenting classes with compadre y compadre. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. The remaining of those hours will be waived once you complete parenting classes. There's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be regular reporting. I'm going to want the UA hotline until further notice. I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month. There's to be the BIPP course, no contact with Priscilla Acosta until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? And follow the recommendations of TAP. If TAP says that he is to be an inpatient treatment, we'll start with intensive outpatient treatment. Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful? Did you all drive down here together? Whose car is it? All right, so Ms. Acosta, you're going to be driving back home by yourself. In the courtroom, if he needs some money for bus fare, you can give him money for bus fare. But outside this courtroom today, you're not to have any contact with him. If the rules end up getting violated, he could end up going to prison for 20 years. Do you understand? I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, good luck to you. You need to do better for your children. If you love them, how you show them that you love them is by making their house a safe haven. There's enough drama and trauma in the world to not have to come home knowing if dad's going to get in an argument or try to beat up mom or come home high. You understand? And where you are now today, this is just a starting point. You still have a chance to improve and be a good father and be a good husband if you're wanted back in the home. You understand? All right, good luck to you. And do not let me find that you're having contact with her outside of this courtroom today, because if that happens, I'm going to sign a motion if it's presented to me, and you're going to be brought over to court wearing an orange outfit. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Judge,
Yes,
do you?
let me see. All right, just give me 1 second. And this is the last case that I'm calling, then I am, the court is recessing. Yes. Mhm. All right, is Mr. Goki? You know what, Norma? Call this for this afternoon and tell Mr. Goki he had better be here. Put it at 3 o'clock.
Your Honor, I know that Commissioner,
Yes.
no, Ms. Abrams is not here. She said the jury room would be available for us to confer with our witnesses.
Yes.
They are out there right now. Could someone let us in, please?
Yes. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 9151W, State of Texas versus Jaime Lozano. Could I have parties announce and approach for the court, please? State,
Ryan Grimmer for the state.
defense,
Todd Cornard for Jamie was on.
Jamie.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Miss Lozano, are you Miss Lozano? Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Lozano, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.05 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it? Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict it? Did you understand your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Showing you the information. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the information as presented?
We are good.
Showing you what's entitled court admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places? Did you understand you're charged with the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a moment. Why does this say no application on the docket?
Oh, porque you didn't give me, I didn't know he was a conflict.
All right.
I hadn't turned it in yet, Your Honor, my fault.
All right, everyone, this is what we're going to do on this. I am so sorry to do this to y'all, but I have an appointment at 11. It is now 11:15 a.m. So we'll come back and do this in the afternoon. Okay. 3. All right, thank you, everyone. We're going to take our